Today I'm going to do a review of the Humsienk wall-mounted 48-volt 100 amp hour battery. So I'm going to unbox it, completely tear it down, do a capacity test, and then finish off with an overall summary. So it comes with a nice handy manual on the inside. It is quite thick. It has all your specifications and then how to set up communications on the unit. It does come with some battery cables as well. Looks like it has Amphenol connectors on the end. Has a communication cable. Screws to mount it to the bracket. Looks like some anchor bolts as well. And all the brackets to actually mount the unit on the wall. All right, so with the battery out of the box, let's kind of walk around, take a look at it, and give you my initial thoughts before we open it up. All right, so on the side, you've got your power button, you've got your circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is made by CHC-YZO, and it is a 150 amp breaker. You have two positive connections, two negative. Once again, those Amphenol. You do have a RS45 and RS282 connections on this. So what's interesting is the RS45 and RS232, these are watertight connectors. So this is kind of neat. I'm guessing that this battery is made to be outdoors. And then on the side, you have your decals. So you can see that once again, it's a 48-volt battery. It says 51.2, but it is a 48-volt battery. It is 5,000 amp hour. It does have a 100 amp BMS. Here's the front display. So you have information on the pack. And it's showing that the SOC is at 58%. The cells are all amazingly close when you look at the voltage rating for each. So that is good. It has an alarm on it and looks like you could see the fault status. It has some sort of a chart so you can watch the battery. So that's kind of neat. Here's where you would set up your communications. And then some product information. The unit itself does have handles to pick it up, and it also has feet on the bottom. So if you wanted to stand this up instead of hanging it up on the wall, you can definitely do that. All right, so first thing that I noticed, it does have a nice protective cover that is covering up the cells, so we're going to remove that. Okay, so with that removed, we can actually see the cells that are on the inside. So as you can see with the bus bars connecting each one of the cells, they are welded. You could see that they checked each one of the welds and marked that the weld was good. You can see that it does have the fiberboard not only on the sides, but also in between each of the cells. On the bus bars, there's also a good hump, so that way as the cell expands and contracts, the bus bar will not become loose. It does have a active balancer. You can see all of the balance leads that are on it, and it also has 4 temperature sensors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at the breaker that's in here, it does have Appears to be split loom tubing, and then it's taped on to kind of protect this positive wire as it goes into the breaker. So looking at the BMS, it looks very similar to the last one that's in the server rack battery. This one has a 3 amp balancer as well. And then the terminals on the inside look very similar to the server rack battery. It does have a decent size copper plate connecting the two negatives and the two positives together. Once again, it does have Amphenol style connectors. So with that, you're not using, a bolt to tighten down the power cable on the outside, like I would with, say, my Vatchers. Here's the communication board. This has all of your connections. And as you can see, it has a weather tight seal that is on this edge. So it appears this battery is made for indoor and outdoor use, which is nice. And then the power wires, looks like that this is 6 gauge. So two 6 gauge wires on the positive side, and then two 6 gauge wires on the negative side. Wire management is very good. It is nice and tidy. You can see all the balance leads and temperature cables are nice and zip tied to these rails. All right, so the next step is going to be charge this up and do a capacity test on it. So the battery capacity test just finished on the Humsienk battery. So this is a 100 amp hour battery, and we got 101.47, so it did a pretty good job. The server rack battery tested out a little bit better, but this one did put out 101.47. So overall thoughts on the battery, was extremely happy with it. The inside build is pretty good, and I do like that it does have active balancing built into it. The screen kind of stole the show on this one, so even though the battery's completely dead, I do want to show you the screen to show you a few things on it. So on the screen, I kind of went through this briefly before, but when you click on pack, it's going to give you a lot of information on the battery. It shows you your SOC, of course, but it also shows you if charge is on or off, discharge. You can see your settings for balancing the cells, the active balancer. It shows your highest voltage cell and your lowest voltage cell. And currently the battery's at 41.44 volts. But this gives a good amount of information. You can click on cell, see all your individual cells. So that way, if you have one that's weaker than the rest, you'll know which one. It has total of 6 temperature sensors. So 4 of them I showed you in the video. The other 2 are not on the cells themselves. I'm guessing they're probably on the BMS. And then it has a pretty cool chart that you can see the last 30 minutes of the battery. You can see as it's charging or as it's discharging, you can kind of see that going across. So right now on these batteries, just like the server rack batteries, don't quote me on this, but I believe with the holiday specials that are going on currently, they are $5.99 each, which is dirt cheap for a 100 amp hour battery. The quality is good on the inside. Once again, I do like a lot of the features that it does have. Love the screen for sure. But it does put out over 100 amp hours, which is good. And yeah, just overall pretty happy with it. Like the Amphenol connectors on it, like that it has a circuit breaker on it as well. And then obviously all of the communication ports that are weather resistant. So you can put this outside and mount it outside, which is kind of neat. So that's it. Thanks again for watching Mike's Garage. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.